This is Driving Solutions, exclusively on CBTNews.com.
Dealers want, need, and collect data to drive their businesses, and it's just that simple. Today, we're exploring how important that data is. Joining us now is Eric DeMont, who's the Global Practice Director at Urban Science. Thanks so much, Eric, for joining us today.
Jim, thanks for having me.
Sure. So for those few people out there in the industry that may not be as familiar with Urban Science as we are here at CBT News, give us kind of an overview and kind of the brief our audience about Urban Science.
When we think about what Urban Science does, it has this very, very unique set of data that we're making available to dealers in very simple, easy to use solutions that help them derive insights that allow them to enhance their operation and ultimately sell more cars.
Wow. So from a dealership perspective, and we hear so much about data, there's no question about it. Many years now we've been speaking more and more, and dealers have been more and more interested in it. But how important is data in their marketing strategy today?
Data in and of itself isn't really the answer. It's data presented in easy to use applications that can be easily, that either surface direct insights or can be easily utilized to develop insights that can lead to direct action that they can take to ultimately drive their business forward.
Well, so that's a perfect segue to my next question. So talk to us about the direct to dealer solution suite. What is it, and why is now the time for dealers to take action on this?
Yeah, so our direct to dealer suite is something we really have been focused on in the last couple of years. Again, powered by this very unique data set. The most recent solution that we brought to market just about a year ago, not quite a year ago, takes all the CRM information that a dealer has within their system. So this would be from eLeads or from Dealer Socket or from Bin Solutions, what have you. And we developed integrations with all of them. Yes, it's a labor of love to work with all those companies to ingest that CRM data. But then we match it on a nightly basis, as I was talking about, through that sales matching process, and figure out which of those leads have already purchased elsewhere. Ask a dealer, they know their sales rates, their close rates, upside down, backwards, forwards. They could tell you by source, by model, by salesperson, what their close rates were. But when you ask them what their defection rates are, that's kind of a blank spot until now.
It is, yeah.
And so now we can directly deliver those defection rates by lead to a dealership the next day after they defect somewhere else.
Wow.
Which has a whole slew of benefits to the dealer.
Yeah, that's pretty strong.
That's right. And so not only at the lead level can we provide that, but then also in aggregated form to help them evaluate overall salesperson performance, geographic performance, performance by model, or even lead source.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I know if I were running a dealership today, back running a dealership today, then I'd ask that, that would be the second question I would have if I called back into the store and said, how many did we roll last night? What does that look like? But more importantly, maybe, how many did we lose last night, right?
Well, and Jim, so, just throwing we are Urban Science, and, I'm going to throw some stats at you.
Sure.
I don't think I would be doing...
Bring it on. My audience
loves... That's right,
loves...
be doing a disservice.
My audience loves stats.
But the average dealership, so I just ran these numbers over the last 6 months, so ending October 2nd here, the average dealership is losing 16.4% of all the leads in their CRM.
Wow.
So those are folks that have raised their hand, have expressed interest, are captured within their systems, and are either buying at a same brand or competitor brand dealership. Ouch. And so again, and what's striking to me is that has been consistent over time. If we look over the last 3 years, it's moved maybe a point or two, not even a point and a half.
Okay.
Over the last 3 years. And if you look at by brand, and even look, it doesn't change by luxury, by mass models. Again, same percentage. The only thing that does change actually is when we look at it by brand and inventory levels. No, not so much by the defection rate itself, but the time to defection. So when inventory is tight, the sale takes longer, the defection takes longer, but the defection rate remains consistent. So
very interesting.
Consumers are still making decisions to buy elsewhere. They're just taking longer to do it when you are in a low inventory situation.
Sure. So break this down a bit more. How are dealerships boosting their efficiency? Explain how this technology works and why it's valuable to dealers.
So we just did a case study with one of our more progressive dealers on the West Coast, and we looked at how much time they were spending chasing leads that are already out of market. And now they're a little bit larger than average, but let's say that you have 1,000 leads within your system a month,
right?
And you have a 15% defection rate. That means you're working about 150 leads that have already left the marketplace.
Yeah.
You think about how much time an average dealer spends on doing that.
Sure.
It's about 80 hours a month. That's a half a person.
Yeah.
Take that half a person, reinvest them into working leads that are still in marketplace. The typical person closes what, 8 cars? It's 4 incremental cars.
Yeah.
By just understanding which leads have defected and redirecting your efforts to those folks who are still in market.
That's right. That's right. What kind of results are dealers seeing with this?
We're presenting a case study with that progressive dealer I talked about, and their findings in the first 3 months, they were able to decrease their defection rates by 20%.
Wow, that's a nice chunk.
It's pretty significant.
Yeah.
And that's really only looking at the time saving component.
Yeah.
There's other things that this defection data can be used for. Things like empowering real-time coaching experiences.
Sure.
So imagine being able to have a conversation with one of your BDC reps or one of your salespeople.
Yep.
And say, hey, you know what? I saw that Jim was in the store yesterday, but he ended up buying somewhere else. Why was that? Well, that Jim was never going to buy a car anyway. Well,
he's driving. He's burning gas.
And he bought it down the street.
Right.
And so being able to then say, well, did you offer Jim a trade?
Yeah.
Did you have a conversation about what other features he might be interested in?
Yeah.
Oh, he was interested in the model that didn't have inventory. Well, how about did you offer him other options or other things that would have worked for him?
Right. Or the most common one is Jim came in on a new car and he bought a used car. Okay. Or he came in on a used car, he ended up driving out in a brand new car. Did you ever give him that opportunity? Oh no, he said he wanted a new car.
100%.
Guess what?
100%. Well, and in our data, thanks for bringing it up, and our data set has both, we suck in all the leads from the CRMs, whether they be new, used, or CPO.
Sure.
And we match it to all new and CPO sales.
Wow.
So we have almost complete fidelity of understanding what Jim did. Now, we can't say which model you bought or which dealership you bought at.
Okay.
But we can say that you left to a competitive brand or a same brand dealer.
Yeah.
And that you did it just yesterday. And
right.
So when you have that conversation with the salesperson or BDC person, it's a top of mind conversation that you're having, and that real-time coaching aspect really helps them improve their performance next time Jim comes in or someone like Jim comes into the dealership.
That's right. That to me as a former dealer is just so invaluable, that type of data that you can, to your point, in real time, get with your sales team, your sales managers, your BDC, your sales department and such, and really kind of do a full breakdown as to what happened. Where did we fail? Especially if you found out that customer bought the same brand that you're selling. If they jump brands, well, maybe they like that other one better, or whatever the case might have been. But boy, if I'm a Toyota dealer and he bought at another Toyota dealership down the road, and we had a shot at him first, what are we doing? You can't fix a problem you don't know about. And you combine that with listening in on the phone call that came in at the BDC, and man, now you just have a winning formula for correcting that situation, right?
Absolutely. And not only is it valuable for the sales folks, it's also valuable for the marketers.
Right.
Imagine what we're doing now. We didn't know that Jim left. For the next 2 weeks, maybe longer, we're pestering you on your phone,
no
via
question.
text,
That's
via
right.
email with these messages to buy a car, and you've already bought.
That's right. That's right.
Now, so what we do is we send that information back into the CRM. We can load it into your CDP. That can kick off automated campaigns that would change the message. If you bought at another Toyota dealership, it can drop you into a service campaign. If you bought at a competitive dealer or a competitive brand, now you can talk about a branding message, because we're not in it for the short term. We're in it for the long term. We're building long-term customer relationships.
That's right.
And we want to be able to talk to Jim over the course of his entire vehicle buying lifetime, not just that one-off transaction.
That's right. And how impressive is that? If if I'm the Jim and I purchased, at a competing dealership, and I suddenly start getting service offers on the Toyota that I bought to come back to your dealership, because there may be something that either went wrong at the selling dealer, or maybe they like something better at where I worked, and they're going to come back to see me. But wow, that kind of use of that data is just so invaluable, and knowing about it so quickly is just fantastic. It really is.
Yeah, we've had great reception in the marketplace so far for this product.
I bet.
I hope it doesn't sound self-serving, but most of the folks that we talk to is that, hey, this is a no-brainer. Why would we not want to have this information at our fingertips and make it available to our sales and marketing professionals? Because it really is very instructional for helping them make better decisions.
I second that no-brainer comment. I don't want to sound too cocky either, but I was a dealer for many years and managed dealerships as well, and that kind of information to me is really a no-brainer and really kind of a must-have. I mean, today you want to know what's going on with every single opportunity that came your way in your dealership. Whether it called, clicked, or walked in, I want to know what happened to that potential buyer. Even if they acquired a car at another dealership, I want to know the details. I want to know, are we, to your point, are we still chasing a ghost out there that doesn't exist, or right. Did they purchase a car? What's going on?
And when we look at the usage rates of the tool, it's the highest utilized tool in our entire portfolio.
I bet.
And we're seeing login rates that are basically a couple times a week.
Yeah.
To check out this data. Now I understand the CRMs, you're in that every day, but for any system other than a CRM, a couple times a week, looking at your defections, being
Sure.
able then to distribute that across the organization is very valuable.
Yeah, I would love to next time you come on, maybe bring one of your dealers with you, because we could have a great discussion about this and how they actually use it. I know we talked about and touched on a few ways, but to have a dealer on would be really good. Hey, as we come to a close on this segment, what final advice do you have for dealers?
From everything that we've talked to dealers about, there is no other application that provides this type of information.
Yeah.
It is not it meets all the safety, privacy, and other compliances that you would want to have in today's world when we're talking about personally identifiable information.
Sure.
It's the only solution that can deliver this with all those safeguards and securities. And it's available, it's $299 a month, and it's available to your dealership when we can activate you usually within 5 days.
$299. That is a bar tab for most dealers out at Digital Dealer or NADA. That's the
right.
first day, by the way.
That's right.
So, Eric DeMont, thank you so much. I really appreciate you stopping in. For dealers that are interested in learning more about this technology, Urban Science, go to them. We're showing all the information on the screen right here. But if you want to go for it, I'll tell you what, I'll go the $299 as long as you give me all the gross profit of the deals you're going to pick up as a result of this. Then
that's great, and you get the bar tab, and
there you go.
We're all set.
Say that, it's a win-win. We have a few cocktails. We also sell some cars, and everything runs much smoother. So, Eric, really appreciate you coming by. Thanks so much.
All right, thanks, Jim.
Thanks for watching Driving Solutions, exclusively on CBTNews.com.